I grew up in New Jersey. I came down here when I was a boy, though, when I was 8 years old in 1964. So this is my 50th year in Miami. I was just telling the story the other day to the president of FIU, Mark Rosenberg, that I went to my first museum when I was 22 years old. I grew up down here fishing, diving, water skiing, spent a lot of time down in the Keys, but didn't have a very cultural upbringing. So I was at FIU, I was an accounting major, and one day I was walking to class and I noticed this room at the first floor of one of the buildings at FIU. When I was at FIU, there were only 2 buildings, but I noticed this room, and I walked in, and it was an art gallery. It was the FIU Art Museum, actually. It's just a little one-room building, and that was my first experience in going into a museum. I remember when I walked into the museum that I was curious because I literally had never been to a museum before, and I remember thinking about all of the things I had collected growing up. I had collected coins, I had collected stamps. At one point, when our milk came in a glass bottle, there was a little bottle cap at the top of all the presidents. I remember pining away to get somebody like Rutherford B. Hayes or something. And when I walked into the museum, it kind of triggered all that emotional reaction of always having been a collector, but never really knowing anything about art.